Wow. So it's been a hot minute since we've talked, and we'll get into that because, as you can tell by the title of this video, there's been a lot going on in my personal life. What's up YouTube? My name's Anna and this is Anna Does Money, a channel where I talk about money making and money saving strategies as well as my personal debt recovery journey. It has been a couple months since I've posted on this channel and I apologize for that, but there's been a couple crazy things going on that does affect my finances, so I'm gonna get into that story time today. I went from essentially getting fired from my job, it was constructive dismissal, which I will get into if you're not familiar with, to getting promoted at that same job and then quitting and finding a new job all in the span of like 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, it's been crazy. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, and let's chat. So here we go. I've been working as a chemical engineer for the past 4.5 years for a fairly large corporation. Over that time, I've slowly climbed the ladder, going from like a lab tech to engineer position to a leader in the management team. On the side, over the past 1.5 years, I've also been writing on Medium as well as posting articles on LinkedIn, mainly about work and personal development, but also about science and tech. So here's where the trouble comes in. I wrote this satire article about how millennials don't want to go back to the office. I thought that's something that most people are aware of. It's sort of going around on the internet, especially if you're a millennial. I'm sure you've seen like TikToks and stuff like that about it. So I wasn't saying anything new and there was no backlashing of my company or any other company. But about 2 weeks after that article was posted, ring, 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 I get a call from my manager. He says the higher-ups saw that article and were pissed off. I was totally shocked. I didn't really expect any backlash since they've never said anything about any of my previous articles, which have also been tongue-in-cheek in the past. But I basically said, no problem, I'll take it down. I didn't know that that would be upsetting for you guys. I'm sorry. That's it. Turns out the reason they were so upset is because they're having this corporate-wide mandate promoting going back to the office. And they were basically saying how happy all of their employees were to go back. So if someone dug into it, they could find out that I worked for this corporation, which I will not name, and it wouldn't look that great on the company that some of their employees actually are not in favor of going back to the office like they're promoting. So seems a little bit ridiculous to me, but whatever. I took the article down and I thought, okay, that was the end of it. Well, it wasn't. Later that afternoon, I heard again from my boss and he said the higher ups essentially wanted me demoted to our lowest rank of lab tech, something I was doing when I first started 4.5 years ago. All of my management duties had been stripped and I'd be removed from talking to any clients. Well, me being me, I knew something was fishy about this and it didn't seem right. So I talked to an employment lawyer who actually said this is pretty much what they call constructive dismissal. Essentially, the employer is forcing the employee to quit instead of actually firing them. So in my case, this was demoting me, even though it didn't come with a pay cut, but especially if there is a pay cut involved or there's some other circumstances as well, this could be grounds for constructive dismissal. So I can actually sue the company and receive a quite hefty severance package, especially since I've been there for 4.5 years. So the next day I'd email my manager just to summarize what him and I had talked about. And I said, look, to me, this looks like you are demoting me and it looks like constructive dismissal. That was my mistake. I shouldn't have actually told my manager this. So my lawyer prepared a draft letter to provide to my workplace, and basically once that letter was sent, the court proceedings would start and I would no longer be attending the job. Well, about 1 hour before my lawyer was gonna send the letter, I get an urgent call from my manager. And guess what he says? No, I'm sorry, but apparently the higher-ups had had a change of heart. And not only were they returning all of my previous duties, I would also be getting a 10K pay raise. Very fishy. So probably they caught wind of what I was doing, talked to their lawyers and realized they were gonna lose this case, and so they returned all my duties. But obviously they were still upset with me and wanted to punish me somehow that wouldn't result in legal repercussions. So they came up with a new way of trying to force me out, which is give me absolutely unreasonable amounts of workload. So in addition to having all my regular duties returned, they gave me essentially the duties of another full extra person, if not two, to complete. After trying to work out with my manager to say look, how can we reprioritize this work because I can't complete in time and our clients are going to be upset, he basically said, no, it was my duty to figure it out. Well, now I don't really have a case for constructive dismissal and I don't really have any other legal action I can take against my employer, according to my employment lawyer. So I thought I would suck it up, put my head down, get as much work done as I could, basically track everything I was doing so they wouldn't have any reason to say that I wasn't completing my work. And hey, making a $90K salary while I look for a different, more reasonable job isn't that bad. Luckily, I didn't have to look for very long at all. The next Monday, so it's only been about a week since all of this happened, I got a LinkedIn message from a recruiter from a management consulting firm in Toronto. I'd actually been thinking about moving into a career in management consulting for a while, but I was thinking, okay, well, I don't want to get more student loans because you probably need an MBA. Well, turns out years of experience is also suitable for that job. After talking to the HR recruiter, she basically said that my skill set was ideal for what they were looking for in their new company. Their interview process was so fast. After going through that meeting with the HR, I had a behavioral interview, then a technical interview, and a meeting with the CEO. I got my offer letter. So that probably took about a week and a half, and then there was another half week where I negotiated that starting salary before quitting my job. That starting salary at the management consulting firm was $100,000, but they have a pretty hefty bonus structure as well. So this is going to be fantastic. I, of course, jumped on that opportunity. So as you can tell, I've pretty much had my hands full with the stress and anxiety that goes with thinking that I was getting fired, looking to sue my company, but it's also being upset because I didn't want to burn those bridges, and then finding this new job and going through that whole hiring process. It's been crazy, but I thought I should share this with you guys because otherwise you might be like, whoa, how did you go from 80K to 100K in like a month? What happened there? So I thought I'd tell you that story. I find personally in my life, everything happens for a reason. You know, if I hadn't written that article, had I even considered that opportunity? Maybe, but maybe not. So I'm super excited to start this new job on Monday, last week of August. The goal is to keep my spending the same and my budget the same and just use the extra money from the salary boost of the new job towards extra debt repayment. So that's it. It's been a crazy few weeks. So I'll obviously let you guys know how the new job is, what kind of bonuses I get at the end of the year. I'm not sure if I'll get a bonus this year because it is my probationary period, but I'll keep you updated on that. And next week we will be back to my regular programming. So every single Thursday I will be posting a video about money making and money saving strategies and a lot about my personal debt recovery journey. So if you've liked this video, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to this channel. Otherwise, I hope to see you next week on Anna Does Money. Peace out, dudes.